Hi everyone, it's Heather here at Creative Faith Art Studio, and today I'm going to just give you a little flip through of my December daily. Yay! So, this is it. I made the cover. It's a traveler's notebook. I made it out of an old table runner. And I think I did some videos. I don't think I showed you how I made it, but I talked about it for sure. And then I made 3 inserts for it. If I can get that to be undone. So I made 3 inserts for it. One of them I gave to a friend of mine in a little last minute gift that I wanted to make. And then this middle one was actually, I made a few of these little guys, and this one to sell at that store in Illinois. And this one got damaged, so I just trimmed it down a little bit. I was going to use it in a different project of mine, but I decided to keep it and just put it in here as like kind of a little extra notebook. I did not use it at all, so it's brand new, other than the water damage that it received. But now that it's been in here for a while, honestly, it looks pretty good. It's like not all bubbly and weird looking, so I am gonna keep it for myself. But it's kind of nice that it's all flat now. And then the last insert that I made, I didn't use at all. So I decided to kind of group up, since it was so busy at the last couple weeks of the month, and I decided to group up the entries into like just a few pages, and that worked out well. So as much as I wanted to sit down and do something every day, there just really wasn't time, and I was really tired. So I opted for sleep. But I did use some of I had this pocket and the back pocket on this full. And so I've got 2 of these little, pockets that are left, and that's all of that. And then in the front pocket, I had several journaling cards. I had probably twice as many, so I used several of these. So that was good. I feel pretty good about that. So I'm going to take out the insert that I actually did journal in, and we'll just kind of flip through that one. I'm going to get rid of the extra stuff here, just so it's a little more focused. And so this is the insert I worked in, and I'm kind of excited just because it's all in one insert, and I can put a date, little, what are they called, the chalkboard label on the front, and I can date it, and then that'll be or a book plate or something, and that'll be for this year. So I'll just flip through it really quick, and most of this I think I did do process videos for, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. Probably the last 2 entries I will, but yeah, you guys have already seen these. So there's my first for December 1st, and there's the 2nd and the 3rd. This has a little, I'm probably going to go back and write a little here, because this opportunity that I had for the cookie decorating, I actually did. So I have some things from that I could add. Just my boys in here, and my dog. Don't forget the dog. Excuse me. And this is a picture I found of Christmas a while, this was from, I think it was even from I said 2016, but it may have even been from 2015. 16 sounded right to me, but it may be a year earlier than that even. Look how little Jacob is. It may have been 2015. And then this is about my father-in-law. And then these, it's funny because I was going to make these Linzer cookies. Never made them. So, but I do have the recipe written down. So, like when I'm ready, boy, by golly, I can get those done. And then I did journal in here, but I didn't journal here, and I can add something to that, or I may print out some pictures and just throw them in. I probably will do that. I didn't add it very many photos. I journaled here. That's my art journal entry. That was a lot of fun to do. And then here are my split pea ham soup. That's a little pocket, so I can add more to that. And I journaled underneath here. And these are some other pictures. I just added tags to them. Kind of give it a little more, added some stickers. And this is my first, like, oh my gosh, I'm like 5 days behind page. So, and this became, you know, I can write some things on here. I'll probably add a little note card or something and journal in those pages. But then each of these are a different gift that God provides. So there's love and mercy and a savior and faith and grace, and the last one here is truth. And then the 18th and 19th, so I actually had written some things in some black Sharpie, and the ink was so heavy. I was really disappointed because I had drawn all these ornaments and stuff on the page, and everything kind of faded out. I painted over everything with a metallic white, so it kind of faded out, and it was nice and white. And then I journaled. I wrote my dates on, and then I journaled in that same black Sharpie, and it was so heavy. I was really bummed out, but I painted over it, and that's what I do. Just paint over it. And I added some things. So I found the stamp came on a Christmas card from my brother, who lives in Chicago with his family, and then I got these stickers, this one and this one from for Christmas I got a subscription to Somerset Studio from the Stampington Company, is the publisher of that. So I haven't received the magazine, but they sent me this little kind of welcome to the subscription packet. So I'm excited to get the first magazine. But then I journaled here a little bit and here, and then I actually, on the back side of this, you can't see it because I covered it up, but I made my list of things that happened each day because I didn't have time to journal, so I glued this piece over it, but it was actually a list that said December 18th, December 19th, and everything that I did. And then I just put a thing over it and made this little pocket. So I have my gift ideas for my family that I tucked in here. And actually, it's a little longer than that, but. And then this was kind of fun. So the store I work at has a ugly sweater contest. So I actually won. And I shouldn't say I didn't win. There was only the second day, there was only like 6 people that participated, so they gave everybody gift cards to the store, so that was nice. But this was my sweater. It was, Fa La 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 Llama, and I thought it was hilarious. So, and it had this hood that really super long, and it hung down probably like halfway down my back, and it had a big jingle bell on the end, so whenever I walked, I would jingle. It was so fun. I'm totally keeping that sweater for a long time. And then here, I like the way this turned out. So this was fun. I wrote down what we made for dinner, and then some fun things happened. So this was I was so worried about leaving my rib roast. I had them cut it for me in the meat department at the grocery store, and I was so worried about leaving it because I almost forgot it twice. Like, I kept thinking I made a grocery list and I didn't put it on my list. And so the guys from the meat department hung this sign in the door of the window to the bakery that goes out into the back hall. So I thought that was really cute. And then it just so happened that one day this Jeff was at the store, and he makes blankets, and 100% of the proceeds go towards no-kill shelters in southern Wisconsin. So I walked up and I had I got Marley, my dog, one of Jeff's blankets, and then I had enough money to buy a second one for my mother-in-law's dog, who's this little tiny thing. So that made me so happy, because and they're super nice young man, and his helper was there, and he did a really nice presentation. He had this beautiful presentation board that had all these pictures that people have mailed to him of their dogs and their new blankets, and then also the dogs from the shelters that have gotten his blankets. Really so sweet. So this was the tag that came on the blanket for Marley. And then I made this little pouch. Some of this came from the Somerset Studio, or the Stampington Company. So this little label and this little tiny bag. And then I just put on this is a Tim Holtz tissue paper, and I sewed on a little bow and a button. And then I made a tag from, I think this is Tim Holtz paper too. And just tucked that in. I didn't write anything on that. I was going to, and I didn't. And then I made this. I originally, I hand lettered. So I've been really into definitions. So I looked up, I have this old dictionary that's falling apart that I found at the thrift store. And I'm fascinated by it because the definitions are so much more positive in that book than they are in a dictionary that you look up online. So this is a Noah Webster dictionary. I think it's from 1943. And when you look up Savior, it says Jesus Christ the Redeemer. So I hand lettered that on here. And then I wanted to make a frame because I thought I'd stick the picture in here. I usually take a picture every year of the kids in front of the Christmas tree. So I thought I'd stick that in, make a window and stick that in. And I actually tore the frame, and I didn't have a big enough piece of paper to do it again. So I ended up gluing it down, and then I just hand lettered over it and added some things, and like the dictionary page for, or the definition for save, and so I'm happy with the way this turned out. So but I will get that picture printed and add it in the journal somewhere. This was one of the tags that I made for Christmas gifts that I never used, and then I just glued together two of those postcard, the front and back, that I had printed, and made a little fold out thing. And then this is my last page. So this was really kind of fun. And I'm sorry I'm really talking a lot, but so what this was the day after Christmas. You know, everything's so busy. I had the day after Christmas off of work, and I made tomato soup for my kids and grilled cheese sandwiches. And I like butter in my tomato soup, so I make it with milk, and I put the thing of butter, and it's kind of fun to watch. It like melts, and you swirl it around, and it makes this kind of fun pattern. And so I was sitting there thinking of reflecting on my life and how, you know, things are really pretty good. I mean, even when something really bad happens, you know, I really try to find something good. And we've had, over the last year, even the last 2 years, some really kind of awful things go on. So so that being said, I went back to the dictionary, and I had cut out this page, or ripped it out, for satisfy. And the definition of satisfy in this 1943 dictionary, and in the 1912 Webster dictionary, the definition is to gratify to the fullest degree, free from doubt or uncertainty, pay in full, discharge, give satisfaction, make atonement or payment. So that's the order that it puts them in. So as I was doing this page, I thought, well, that'd be kind of neat. I can write the definition of satisfy on the page. and that'll kind of be my journal entry. Well, when I looked it up on my phone, in the 2018 version of the Merriam-Webster dictionary, it changes the order of the definitions. So instead of having this positive, to gratify to the fullest degree is a very positive thing, right? Or to free from doubt or uncertainty is a very positive thing. It takes those two things and it puts them at the end of the definition. And then it doesn't even fully put that definition in. So the new dictionary says to carry out the terms of something, a contract, to meet financial obligation. The second one is to make reparation to an injured party. The third one is to make happy or please, to gratify to the full. And then the fourth one is convince, put an end to, and then in parentheses it says doubt or uncertainty. And so I thought, how awful. Like, I would much rather read an old dictionary than a new one, just because why would anybody, when you think of satisfy, I don't think about paying off a loan. Like, how terrible is that? No one thinks that way. So so that got me thinking, like, why would they change the newer version to something that seems so negative? And so then I started thinking about, again, going back to me, I know, selfish, but I started thinking about, how God has satisfied me in my life, just, by providing me with people that have come into my life and even taking people out of my life. There's a lot to be said about the way things kind of go. And so, and then I started thinking about just the Bible, and I've heard a lot about how people are questioning their faith, and it made me start to look for ways Jesus was satisfied prophecy in the Bible. So I found a whole list of these Bible verses, and these are just from the Old Testament, and there's more of them, but I only wrote down these, and then I wrote them in pencil on my page. I don't know if you can see that. I was going to write them in white, but my white pen just decided not to work. So but yeah, so then I read through all these verses, and I'll see if I can find the link again, and I'll put it in the description below if I can find it. But even the link I found even had the New Testament Bible verses that related back to these Bible verses. So it was really interesting study to do. So that's how I finished my year. And I did this page. This is all from, so this is the piece, this is the page from the dictionary, and then I painted it with orange paint. That's my bowl of tomato soup. And I took these old napkins. These are actually from Corey and my wedding. I think I had red ones, and then I had red and white checked ones, and so I just put the napkin on there. This is a printout from my one of my digital pages on my website, and I just cut out the shape of a vase, and then I ripped this all out of paper. This paper for the rose is just from it's actually the paper that comes from a ream of copy paper, and actually I think it's vellum. I think that in that ream is it was vellum, but and then I just lettered. This is all white, that oil-based Sharpie, and this is the same yellow paper from the packaging of that. And then this doily, I actually painted black because it was kind of attached in this page, and then I just made a little black doily for the vase to sit on, and I made a spoon out of it. So, and it was really damaged on this end, so I just made that silver, drew that in with silver pen. And then what I did in the very last page of the journal, I got a little paint on so that was kind of a bummer, but whatever. I made a pocket out of the very last page, and I stuck in some Christmas cards from people, and then this was from the folks from that sugar cookie event that I did. So I kept all that and just tucked it in the pocket. So yeah, and then I have a few, I usually take all my Christmas cards and I put them on our Christmas tree. So there's still some upstairs that I can tuck in when we take the tree down. So that is it. So, well, I hope you enjoyed it. This was a lot of fun, and it did renew something really creative for me in my life. So I'm really excited about doing this more. I'm working on my journal for next year, and I realize I'll be behind as of tomorrow because it is the last day of the year. But I don't know if I want to do it like a traveler's notebook, because I really liked this cover, and that I could slide these pages in and out, you know, when I wanted to write on something. You know, I had a little more, you know, it wasn't like a big bulky book, so I really liked that. And otherwise, I mean, I have all these beautiful books that have these old covers that I, you know, seemed kind of silly just not to use them, but this really worked. It was protected. I could stick it in my bag. It was flexible, so I could take my coffee mug and shove it in the side of my bag next to my journal and still, you know, and not damage the actual pages. So I had to think on that a little bit, but I hope you all have a fantastic new year. Get off to a good start. Enjoy some time with your family. And if you're not able to be around anyone that you love, just sit back and be grateful for how wonderful and beautiful you are. And I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. And I will see you next year. Thanks. Bye-bye.